range of public interest factors, which we have discussed in our judgment.
You'll be the first one to put up against the wall!
Film me, mate. Will you film me?
Do you have anything to say?
Film me.
I've assaulted women in our cult. How are you allowed to do this? You should be sent with them. You all should. All of you. Yeah, you should. This ain't about racism. This is about women being touched by these brothers.
If you're against racism and you're against women being touched, you should be reversed.
The Epping Hotel controversy, when courts clash with communities. Right, let's cut straight to the chase. Picture this. 50 protesters gathered outside a hotel in Epping, Union Jacks flying, voices raised, and what happens? A car emerges from the Bell Hotel, and the crowd erupts in boos. "They are laughing at us," shouts one demonstrator, and frankly, you can feel the tension crackling through the air like a live wire. This isn't just another story about immigration policy gone wrong. This is about what happens when the establishment makes decisions that communities feel they have absolutely no say in. And the Bell Hotel in Epping has become the unlikely battleground for one of the most contentious debates in modern British politics. Now, here's where it gets interesting. The Bell Hotel was originally ordered to stop housing asylum seekers after local complaints and legal challenges. Victory for the community, you'd think? Not so fast, because the hotel's owner wasn't having any of it. They took their case to the High Court, and guess what happened? 3 judges, Lord Justice Bean, Lady Justice Nicola Davies, and Lord Justice Cobb, completely overturned the original decision. But here's the kicker that'll make your blood boil. Lord Justice Bean had the audacity to call the original judge's decision erroneous because it failed to consider the Home Office's position. Apparently, closing one site means finding capacity elsewhere in the system. Revolutionary thinking, isn't it? Who could have possibly foreseen that basic logic? The protesters outside aren't going anywhere, and frankly, can you blame them? And Hall, a former Epping resident who still has family in the area, called the court's decision very disappointing. That's British understatement at its finest, isn't it? When someone calls a decision that affects their community's entire social fabric merely disappointing, you know they're seething underneath that polite exterior. Carmen, a 60-year-old local who's been attending every Thursday and Saturday demonstration, summed up the mood perfectly. All the guys in there are probably laughing, right? And there's the crux of it. While communities feel ignored and overruled, there's this perception that decisions are being made by people who simply don't have to live with the consequences. Shirley Mooney, who worked at the Bell Hotel back in 1998 and has called Epping home for 31 years, asked the question that's on everyone's mind. Why can't the asylum seekers simply leave? She told the Daily Express, "They have triumphed." There's something profoundly unsettling about that word choice, isn't there? Triumphed over whom? Exactly? The government's argument that the injunction might incite more demonstrations is particularly rich. As if the demonstrations are the problem, rather than the policies that created them in the first place. It's like complaining about the smoke while ignoring the fire that's been burning underneath for years. What we're witnessing in Epping isn't just about one hotel or one group of asylum seekers. It's about a fundamental breakdown in the relationship between those who govern and those who are governed. When Lord Justice Bean references the Home Office's constitutional role relating to public safety, whose safety is he actually talking about? Because the people of Epping clearly don't feel safer. The irony here is absolutely delicious. The same legal system that's supposed to protect communities is being used to override their concerns. The judges sit in their chambers, far removed from the daily realities of small-town life, and make decisions that transform entire neighborhoods. Then they have the nerve to lecture local judges about constitutional roles and public safety. This case reveals something deeply troubling about how power operates in modern Britain. The hotel owner can afford expensive barristers and high court appeals. The Home Office has teams of civil servants and unlimited legal resources. But the people of Epping? They get 50 protesters with Union Jacks and a few quotes in the local press. The protesters booing at cars that left the hotel. That's not just anger. That's desperation. It's the sound of people who feel completely powerless in decisions that affect their lives. When Carmen says they are probably laughing, she's articulating something that goes far beyond immigration policy. She's talking about a class of decision-makers who seem utterly disconnected from the consequences of their choices. What's particularly galling is the timing. The complete hearing isn't until mid-October, which means this controversy will drag on for months. The protesters will keep coming, the community will remain divided, and the asylum seekers will continue living in a hotel surrounded by hostility. Everyone loses except the lawyers who will bill handsomely for their time. The Home Office's constitutional role apparently includes ignoring local communities until they are forced into the streets to make their voices heard. That's not governance, that's abdication of responsibility dressed up in legal jargon. And Hall's hope for a different outcome at the October hearing is touching, but let's be realistic. The precedent has been set. When push comes to shove, the establishment will always find a way to get what it wants. Community concerns be damned. The Bell Hotel controversy isn't ending anytime soon, and neither should your attention to stories like this. Because what's happening in Epping today could be happening in your community tomorrow. The same legal mechanisms, the same bureaucratic indifference, the same pattern of decisions made by people who will never have to live with the consequences. This is exactly the kind of story that defines modern British politics, the growing chasm between those who make decisions and those who live with them. If you want to understand how we got to this point and where we're heading next, you need to stay informed about these battles being fought in communities across the country. Subscribe now, because these stories matter more than you might think, and they are happening everywhere you're not looking. These aren't abstract concerns. They go to the heart of who we are as a nation. A Britain where judges are feared or attacked for doing their jobs is a Britain in crisis. And the British public? They are watching closely. Not just the politics, but the character of those who seek to lead them. At UK Connors, we're not just here to report. We're here to expose, to question, and to illuminate what others would rather keep in the shadows. So remember, when the spin fades and the headlines change, the truth remains, and here at UK Connors, we'll always bring it to you raw, direct, and unfiltered. If you value mature, high-standard political commentary that doesn't flinch from the truth, make sure you subscribe and hit that bell icon. Because in this era of double standards and political spin, you deserve clarity. This isn't just politics. It's the future of Britain, and we're just getting started. See you in the next one.